Is it live? Like, I don't know why it's... Okay. Hello guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I'm actually from Fukuoka in particularly from my parents' place. Visiting them right now and, well, you can kind of see, well, not this way. Yeah, just visiting and I had to get my father out of this place for you guys. Let me post first. Okay. Dun, da, da, dun. Waiting for you for your comments. Okay. This is a little dark in here, but so Ms. Takaichi, our Prime Minister Takaichi, bam. She became our Prime Minister and she had a policy speech. That's her. And she's gonna revise the national security documents. Like, she doesn't really have to, but like she wants to, you know, make it happen quickly. So she's doing it early, right? So with like during next year and rising prices, she's gonna work on it as a priority. So good, it's really good. She was really like down to earth, really strong. Like she appeared kind of stronger than most like male prime ministers. So that was interesting. Yeah. And it was so noisy though while she was making a speech like this in the Parliament building. It's actually our culture that opposition parties, especially, they just say things in between like blah blah blah, right? Like, why are you gonna jail, or no you won't, or something like that, like we just say things in between, and that's our culture. It's not because she is the prime minister, it's just what our politicians do. Yeah, and that's just our culture. So there are like fake Japanese accounts, on X saying like, oh, because Takaichi is fighting globalists, that's why those opposition party politicians are complaining. I'm like, no. But it was overly done and not properly done. And that's why we are complaining, because I was watching her speak like live. It started on 2 p.m. and I started to watch, and then it was so noisy I couldn't hear. And usually when they do it quickly, like one word or so, like just blah, and but for her, like the opposition party members, they somehow like spoke really long, like sentences after sentences, and they just kept speaking, and that was inappropriate. And the biggest, is it biggest? Opposition party, Constitutional Democratic Party leader Noda, was asked about it, because people were complaining, like myself and others, people online were talking about it because it was so loud we couldn't hear well, especially at the beginning, and he was asked about it, and because we found out that two of the people that were saying things in between her speech, they were like, we could see the faces, So, oh, that's the Constitutional Democratic Party politicians. So we named, like, identified them, and we shared the information. And so the press asked the party leader, like, what do you think about it? And he's like, oh, I was in the back, I couldn't really see, but blah, blah, blah. And we were like, what? Like, he should educate his people. It's okay to say things, but just do it properly, But anyway, so that was done. Let me look at your comment. First one on tonight. Yay, waiting for your happy results. Thank you. She has a strong accent. Who is she? You talking about me, or? What a great week. Yeah, hello, hello. Thanks for coming. She just landed in Malaysia a bit ago. Yes, I know. Yeah, it's her first diplomatic situation. What's the word? Like, first diplomatic opportunity, which usually doesn't come, right away. So like usually what happens is that like for example Ishiba, he became our prime minister before her last, was it October? No, September, and then had election in October, I believe. But right after that, like they didn't have like diplomatic opportunities, especially with the U.S. So he had to call Donald Trump, right? It was on the phone, and this time I believe that Takaichi actually didn't have a. I mean, she called him already, but like, yeah, but people were saying that it wouldn't happen. Right, they didn't say that. But then they're meeting soon. Uh, now here, Trump senpai is on the. This you see the map. I know it's mirrored, but it's a Japanese map here, and then this is a Chinese land. It's mirrored, so it's the opposite way. But so Trump is gonna come to Malaysia, and then go to. So he's gonna be there for from 26th to 27th, and then fly to Tokyo from 27 to 29 for 3 days in Tokyo, and then like meet with Takaichi and our people, and then he flies to South Korea to have a meeting there, meetings I guess, and he's gonna meet Xi Jinping in South Korea. He's gonna be there from 29th to 30th. So like Asian tour, focused on economy. Trump departing, establishing a relationship with Takaichi, like he's eager to do it, and even open for the meeting with Kim Jong Un and so on. So yeah, they're gonna meet. Trump is coming after Malaysia. He's coming to Tokyo for 3 days. I wish I could meet him. You guys tell him to meet me. But yeah, so that's good. So that's very lucky for Takaichi, because not all our past prime ministers, they didn't have the opportunity, But now she's in Malaysia, and is she going to other places too, like Philippines or something? Sorry for my voice, by the way. I'm still sick. I was sick last week, right? And on that day, I got heavily sick after my live stream. And then I had a high fever, and I was resting in bed for a few days. Still, my nose is having issues. I should probably hit the clinic, but I don't know which clinic to go. So, yeah. Anyway, super chat, thank you. First super make Nippon Ichiban again. Thank you. I like the way you put it, because usually they just say like, oh, Japan, or make Japan great again, or something like that. Nippon. Yes. I love the word Nippon, because it's our official name is Nippon. Japan's official name is Nippon. And I don't actually like the phrase when people call it like J-pop or J culture or J something. I don't like it, because it doesn't really sound like what I'm proud of. Anyway. Yeah. So ASEAN. Takaichi is going to ASEAN in Malaysia. Yep. And Takaichi keeps saying the phrase that Abe was using, those like fake Japanese accounts are saying like how Takaichi is tackling globalism. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, she's never going to stop investing in America, for example. Like, ending globalism would mean that we would cut ties with other countries. If that's not the definition, then they should have a better definition, you know what I mean? Because that's, to me, it sounds like, Takaichi is fighting globalism, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we have a big Toyota, actually not only one, probably multiple, right? Like Toyota factories in the US, and we have a lot of other factories in Asia as well, and we were importing, exporting. We are doing all the trades, and it's actually occupies our like GDP and so on. But Takaichi uses the phrase like the diplomacy. She wants to restore Japanese diplomacy that flourishes on the world's center stage. Flourishes on the world's center stage. That is, in Japanese, it's 世界の真ん中で咲き誇る日本外交. Yeah. That's the phrase that Abe was using. That's why she repeatedly used in her speech. And she, like other places too, she keeps saying that because it's the signal for everyone. Like, oh, I am, just like Abe, the Abe's diplomacy was amazing. That's why you guys are impressed, right? I mean, impressed, right? Okay. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. The Tiger fan. I see Japan is lighting the Tokyo Tower and Skytree in red, white, and blue for Trump's visit to Japan. Yes. Did you see my post? I actually made a post about it. Oh, by the way, I can stay for like an hour. My dad will probably come home. My mom is somewhere, but she's like trying not to get in my way. I'm gonna hurry and speak faster so that I can make it compact today. MOFA of Japan. Oh, can you see? Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan, and on October 27th and 28th, Tokyo Skytree, Tokyo Tower, and Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building will welcome U.S. President Trump's official visit to Japan by special lighting inspired by the Star-Spangled Banner. Landmark illuminations welcoming U.S. President Trump's visit to Japan. And there's a picture. Yay. You should come to Japan just to see it. If you are around Tokyo, definitely go see it and take a picture. Spread it. share it on X. Okay. Cool beans. Thank you for your super chat. 今日のテーマは何ですか? Today's topic is in the title. I'm going to be talking about Takaichi and Trump. As for Takaichi, this is today's newspaper. Where was that? Oh, so today is Yomiuri, right? And you see our expert, professor of Keio University, Yuichi Hosoya. He's really famous now. Kind of young though, still. But she's talking about Thatcher. Can Takaichi, the new prime minister, can she become Japan's Thatcher? And it's a column which lasts to the second page. So she's talking about, it was a great article, column. Yeah, and it's interesting that at the beginning he points out that among the G7 countries, it's only now America without a female leader. So that's interesting. As for France, they haven't had the female president yet, but so far there have been 2 prime ministers. I didn't know that. And then the column goes on to Margaret Thatcher, who Takaichi has actually met. But what's interesting though is that the Iron Lady, Thatcher was great, but then, and they had other female leaders in the UK, Theresa May, and then who was the later one? One more woman. Truss, right? So she was there, but like how it didn't work well. So Thatcher, during peacetime, she was the greatest prime minister in the UK. And May couldn't resist the Brexit, like big wave. And then Truss, the shortest prime minister, because it was such a confusing time. And then there are the details of that, but yeah, it's really interesting. So of course, like because Takaichi wants to, like she's inspired by Thatcher so much. Like she has met Thatcher, and also like she wants to be like Thatcher. That's listed on her website. So, yep. I'm from Sweden. Yay! Hello, Sweden. RCEP, people forget to talk about RCEP. What do you think about Osaka Innovation Party joining the coalition but not getting any cabinet and department secretary positions? That seems weird. No, I don't think that they just don't. They have to be Ishin. The Innovation Party has to be coherent of what they've been saying. They've been poking LDP for money issues, like money scandal of LDP, and so like it's hard to get inside, I guess. And but their relation is really good actually, because Takaichi, you know how she's a lone wolf who studies hard, and she actually read all the policies of Ishin, the Innovation Party, and then had the party leader meeting to negotiate the coalition. And so the Ishin, the Innovation Party executives were impressed that Takaichi just knew everything about their party, you know, because she studied hard. And so that's why their negotiation went well. And that's how great our new prime minister is. She's just passionate, and she's really serious. And yeah, it's really good that and we are really glad that even Trump and his team knows that Takaichi is hardworking and also like a successor of Abe. So I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have a good relationship. So that's looking good so far. Yoko, it is late. I know. I wanted to come earlier, but I'm actually at my parents' place now, and I was cleaning the bathroom, like where you wash your face. Like there's a mirror, and then there's a stand, and it was like collecting dust. So I was like cleaning and so on, and then I had to catch up with the newspaper, and also I had to take care of my mom's phone, like she was trying to get registered into some service, like, having issues. I was helping her, and yeah, here I am finally. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Just reading your new phone. Who's this? Who's this? Yeah, it's Yoko. Hello. Thanks for coming. Man, I look weird without a massive light. I wish I had a desk light here, but you guys are actually sitting on this chair. You are on the chair right now. Let's see. I can't wait to see Trump Takaichi press conference. I hope it is televised. Yeah, me too. I bet that they will do that. Do you like Koizumi getting the Secretary of War cabinet position even though he was in second place? Oh, you mean Defense Ministry? I mean Minister? Yes. He's young, and he is such a potential. He has so much potential to become our prime minister, but he's still young. How old is he? Like 44 or something? Like our leaders are usually like, at least like you have to be 60. Abe first time was in his, like he was probably 52 or something. I don't exactly remember, but in his 50s, I think. And he's still 40 something. So he has a lot to learn too. But the wording that he uses, like he speaks in an interesting tone, right? Like 1 + 1 is actually 2 or something like that, right? And people make fun of it, but he says things like that. He speaks like that in order to avoid like saying like creating gaffes, so he thinks a lot to avoid getting attacked by the media. So he's actually not stupid. He just has that character. And what's great about Koizumi is that he doesn't derail out of derail of LDP decisions and so on, because LDP is the kind of party which has discussions or debates inside the party first and then decide, and everybody has to agree, right? Like eventually by voting or whatever, like they decide their policy and then they stick to it. And that's how they are strong in the parliament and so on. And Koizumi, he's just like is it loyal, like to decisions, and doesn't make stupid mistakes. Sometimes it's kind of risky, but he does things well, and his performances are great. Especially we like the one where when he surfed when we released the treated waters of Fukushima nuclear power plant. There were a lot of like the leftists and China, they were calling it like contaminated, dirty water, like toxic water. But then we treated it well, like on a natural level. So it was not toxic anymore. So that we decided to release it because we couldn't contain it anymore because it was occupying all the land and so on. And it was hard to, the cost was a lot. So so we started to release, and he surfed there. And we were like, wow, right? So some people were saying like, oh, he should camp out on Senkaku Islands, our territory. But China wants to take those islands. So some were saying like, oh, he should camp out next. Anyway, bird up, thank you. Yoko tax, yes. Yes, Yoko tax. Give me Yoko tax, please. I'm at my parents' house, so I don't have my bird with me. My shoebill stork. Yeah, good to see you, bird up. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. 44 isn't young. Oh, hey, I'm 40 now. Let's see. Does the LDP past prime minister usually give a high positions to the challenger before? I don't think. It depends, maybe. But like sometimes, like when they don't like their challengers, of the election, then they would just use them, appoint them for like party roles instead of the cabinet, if you know what I mean. LDP is LDP and it's a big party, so there are many titles in the party. And meanwhile, like of course they have a new cabinet, so minister positions and so on, or deputy minister, or there are classes after, like below that. So of course they have that. But then LDP, as a party, they have all the roles. So sometimes they just use that side. But this time she used everybody, right? And only one became the like a policy council thing in the party. So that's great though. It's like in order to become a prime minister in Japan, at least from the LDP party, it's said that you need to experience the 3 high positions of LDP party, and then in addition to that, you need to experience some big minister like defense ministry minister, or finance minister, and what's the other one, like something more. So those young guys are now getting experiences thanks to Takaichi, so that's good. I need to hydrate. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. Let me read. John F. Kennedy is the youngest U.S. president. He was 43. Wow, when he was elected. Wow. So sad that he was assassinated. It was shocking to the entire world. It's interesting that everybody knows it. Everybody knows Kennedy. So, yeah. おはようございますよ。おはよう。おはよう。How about will the NHK attack Takaichi over her dealing with Trump? We will see. Hopefully not too much. Because usually NHK is just our public broadcasting system. So they are not, they just report on facts like, oh, like there was a meeting, this happened, this is the background, this went like this, and so on. So that there's a template of their reportings. But this time, like as you might have seen on my X feed, NHK tilted the angle of Takaichi cabinet, or while she was making a speech, and all the shots, like, oh, new prime minister, new cabinet, here are the ministers, and then Takaichi delivered a speech, right? So when they were reporting on that, they tilted the angle, like each time. The first shot was crazy, like it's like zooming into the new cabinet members, like in Japan, they come down the stairs for some reason. It's so cool. Like red carpeted stairs, and then they come down all together. So like I'm like always like, scared for them, because I really hope that they don't fall, because it will be symbolic. But it never happens. But anyway, they come down, and then NHK angle was like tilted, and then the other angle, another like tilting angle, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna get dizzy, so it was awful. But they do that, like secretly they do things like that, like to brainwash people. But at least now our people are strong on social media, even though social media platforms, of course, like the ones that we are using are all American. We are thankful for that though, because you guys are giving us voice. Now through your platforms, we are raising our voice, and our politicians cannot ignore that anymore. Our media people, they try to brainwash us, but we see through, and we share information on social media and call it out, and then we share that. So it's working well, because now somebody notices when somebody notices stuff like that, like, oh, it's tilted, it's used for movies to agitate people for anxiety and so on, and then we learn like, oh, that's the tactic. So, oh, super chat, thank you again, Bird Up, yay. If Trump and Takaichi hang out and Takaichi starts playing drums, do you think Trump will do his YOC test? Man, that's a brilliant idea. That would be so good. I want to see that. I'm going to spread that in Japan. That Takaichi has to show her drumming skills. That would be awesome. You know what? Hayashi, what is his role? Is it Somu Daijin, probably? What? Hayashi, Yoshimasa Hayashi, do you know him? Yoshimasa Hayashi. This guy, he competed against Takaichi too in the election, LDP election. Now he is, what? I know that just to be sure. Soma, yeah. And then Soma Daiji, I don't know the English version. Internal Affairs and Communications. Really? Internal Affairs and Communications. That's the name. But Hayashi, he can play the piano while he can sing while playing the piano. and he plays guitar and he can play many instruments and he's capable of English too, like English singing, like Beatles and so on. So yeah, it'd be nice. And also LDP, by the way, has a band. LDP, the party has a band. I forgot what it's called. Wait, I wonder if they are still active though. Geens, yeah, Geens. Geens. Geen means parliament members or politicians, Geen. And then they put the S to make it plural in English. So, oh, they have a Wikipedia too. Wait. Oh, it's only in English basically. Geens. You see the alphabets here? Geens. They should do that in front of Trump and play YMCA. That would be awesome. Thank you for super chat. Oh, Deuce, thank you so much. Where's Taro Kono? Oh, he's gone pretty much. He was a populist, and then his trend, kind of faded away because now people on the right side are very, very strong. Like, we have the number, like, in democracy wise, there are so many of us. And what's interesting is that people, like ordinary people, like non-political people, just people, just living their life, even they are like coming to the right side in the demographic. And that is very interesting because even people around me, my generation, like they started to use wording like us, like, oh, like pro-China politicians or something like that, for example. They would never use a phrase like that, because they're not politically active, right? But they use that, and that should mean that they're on the right side because left people on the left side don't usually use phrases like that, like pro-China politicians and old media, like legacy media and so on. We just say old media, but yeah. But I see like ordinary people using terms like that, so that's interesting because, but it happens because our economy is really, really bad right now, and prices are rising, but our pays are not catching up with the speed of the rising prices. So we are just suffering, unless you are officials, because if you are some kind of officials of the country or local authorities, then you have a good pay, and it's not enough though for everybody actually. But yeah, or the big foreign company people, then they have a steady income, which is a lot more than regular people. But because of that, I guess that people complain on X and so on, like go to social media, and then on social media, there are lots of like right-wing kind of information or propaganda sometimes. So yeah. Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Your new immigration minister, Kimi Onoda, does sumo. Does she? But she describes her, she's 180 centimeters tall. Wow. Height in metrics, so she is not very American. She's probably taller than men she was deport. Interesting. I knew that she was tall, but I didn't know that tall. Wow. She is really, really popular. What's interesting is that usually when our like parliament members are foreign blooded, like there are like half Taiwanese woman, like leftist, and also like rumored to be like Korean blooded and so on, like naturalized type of people from Asia and so on. And then there's this one who is like Uyghur, like East Turkestan heritage, and she, especially because Kono, as one of you, oh yeah, Deuce Flex said, Kono, he is seen, I don't know about now, but he is seen by the majority of like people on the right side that Taro Kono is pro-China and kind of liberal in generally. So he lost his popularity because we are going more and more on the right side, and he is kind of old-fashioned. Like if you look at him today, so he's funny, and also he's kind of bold. You know, sometimes he takes risks and so on, and that was cool. But now, like our premises changed, like our society premises changed, so he kind of lost popularity, and that's why he can't be, you know, he's not gonna. I don't. At least for a while, I don't think that he's gonna get popular again. So yeah, and then Taro Kono, he found this Uyghur woman who is actually really such an elite, really smart, high level, you know. Like me, I'm like compared to her, I'm like nothing, you know. And she was working for the UN and so on, and she's actually from Fukuoka Prefecture, but north, like Kitakyushu, north area. But she is because Kono got her from the UN, and then basically, you know, asked her to become like a parliament member, helped her win elections and so on, and then now like that her background being in the UN and with Kono connection, our people are really like upset that they must be the right wing type of people here think that they must be like pro China or something like that, which is crazy because Uyghur people are oppressed by China and she is on our side. But like because of the backgrounds, like right wing people just create all this crazy fantasy. And some of it probably is propaganda by CCP. I bet that it's CCP oriented to some of it because it doesn't make sense politically. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that like different backgrounds of politicians, you know, like heritage wise, they're not popular by the conservatives or right wings. But Kimi Onoda, she's mixed, right? Her father is American, and it seems that she was raised by her mother, though. Like I don't know what happened when she was a child, but she was born in the U.S. and then moved to Japan where she was still a baby. She grew up in, I believe, in Okayama, and then somebody was saying that because Ms. Onona is mixed with like a Caucasian, that's why Japanese people are not really, you know, caring about that. So that was interesting because we have a white complex culturally, you know, not everybody, but how is her English? It's really fluent. At least I could tell. Like she might have been like reading or something, but I came across her speaking English, and she sounded like a Japanese person speaking English. So it's fluent and really high level, but as for pronunciation, it was kind of Japanesey, if you know what I mean. So because like she was, I don't think that she was with her father anymore, and she did grow up here, so really Japanese. Like she did have dual citizenship, and then when it turned out that she has dual citizenship, she just disregarded. Discarded the American one because she loves Japan. At least she's such a nerd, proud nerd, which is cool, you know. And very uplifting, energetic, uplifting, really fun, but blunt, and very like she has a strong will, and she doesn't want to be carried away by other people. You know, she doesn't like old systems and so on too. So it's great. Like I I wish that I had met her as friends before. I wish I had opportunities like that. Like she would make like great friends with you. Like I saw one of her old pictures, and she she looks like a kind of like a not like emo but rock kind of looking, and I'm like her old photos remind me of my old friends, if you know what I mean, like 90s kind of. Yeah. Onoda is a half. Yes. In Hawaii we say hapa, hapa, hapa. Oh, cool. Oh, pay is not rising. Yeah, not rising. She posted a video in good English and sharing her family history. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, Japanese people, they can't speak English. We understand reading and writing. Sometimes writing is even like putting together a sentence is difficult for us. I'm an exception. I trained myself a lot. I'm still struggling. See? So usually like we know words, and we can when we hear we can kind of understand because it's with the compulsory education we learn English. It's on our just like you guys Americans learn Spanish, we learn English. So if you are a good student, usually you have a decent understanding of English. But speaking is another ability, in my opinion. Yeah. Moved to Japan, her mom at age 1, right? Yeah. Hello from Israel. Wow, hello. Stay safe. So good to see you're safe. Let's see. Hi, Yoko. Hello. Your English is so good. It always amazes me. Thank you. I wish I could get rid of my accent, though. If I live in the U.S., it would be different, but or at least stay for a few months in the States. I bet that I would. I could enhance my English, but let's see. But yeah, I'm so excited that they're gonna meet. Takaichi and Trump, they're gonna meet soon, but they're gonna talk about, let's see, like minerals, like critical minerals and so on too, like all the resources. Let's see what the article says. Trump said that they will build a wonderful relationship during the first Trump's first administration. Abe had a really close relationship with Trump, and Abe basically like imprinted the threats from China and North Korea to Trump, and even though Trump was unexpected, Abe became like a guardrail, like to protect Trump diplomacy. And Takaichi, oh yeah, Trump seems to be expecting the same kind of contributions from Takaichi. And to the press, Trump said that a great Prime Minister Abe liked her. So it's a good, wonderful tendency or something like that. And Trump focuses the most on China, Xi Jinping, meeting with Xi Jinping over tariff negotiations, and they're going to meet in Busan in South Korea on the 30th, and the prioritized subjects are the frictions between trade frictions between America and China, and Chinese rare earth export regulations and with South Korea and Southeast Asian countries. He has he's considering the economic treaties and so on. But Middle Eastern situation, Russia's aggression to Ukraine, he has to deal with those, and inside Trump administration, Indo-Pacific region's priority is declining, like it's whispered like that, and Trump is gonna be absent from what is this East Asian Summit, right? Japan, China, South Korea, East, Southern East nations will participate, and it might be seen as that Trump is not seeing Asia, like kind of not taking Asia seriously or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. Any Japanese news coverage of China's fourth plenum? What is plenum? Gotta look it up. plenum. 意味。内部圧力。Oh. Like frustrations inside China, you mean? We're not really talking about China much, or like we are so focused on our not diplomacy, internal, like a domestic politics so much that we like just looking at newspaper like this is today, right? They're talking about, oh, by the way, they're talking about Japan, US shipbuilding capabilities, like strengthening it, and against China, we are fighting, you know, and that we will have a working group, like we will establish a working group to work together, and rare earth, we will cooperate, yeah, stuff like that. So we do talk about trades and so on, but as for this, I did see that though. This part, I will talk about this shipbuilding thing soon. Sorry, I'm still sick. So let's see. You see, China's values, like I can't translate that. Jiwari, like, soaking. I would say Xi Jinping with the UN guy. Peace and dialogue. China's actions are not actually there, and so they're talking about how like America is withdrawing. You know, let's see, the Security Council people are saying that Trump administration created the space, like blank space, right, in like in international cooperation. At least that's the recognition of them, right? So at least they say that Trump's space is now, Xi Jinping is trying to fill it up because Trump is not there anymore. So it's a chance. It's a great opportunity for China that when America withdraws, then China can take over. And I personally do not like the UN either, but politics is like, politics sucks in that way, you know, that if you like you don't like something, you know, and then you are influential, but then if you know kind of takes back like leaves the place, then others will take over and show their presence. But then I don't think that it'll be easy for China though, because they do have problems inside of their own country. So I'm not too worried though. This is bad. China is like October 25th, like China is saying that, we should celebrate the end of Japan's like annexation, but they use a different word, I guess. But like Japan's control. So like, none of your business, right? At least Taiwanese people are upset. Yeah. Oh, Superchat, thank you so much. I hope that you have a very nice week, Yoko. Thank you. By the way, did you see the Edo hoodie I got from Japan? I didn't. Did you send like a post photo? I'm not I'm not on X as much as before, so it's hard for me to notice like before. Thank you though. Thank you for your super chat. It really helps my channel. Thank you. Oh, you can't stay for long. I had to wake up early because an electrician came early to work on my place. I know how that goes. Do you think Trump will call Sanae beautiful? Hopefully. I really hope that he will like her. I mean, Takaichi is really kind of like she's got this masculine energy, like when she speaks publicly, she's like, right? She's such a metalhead that she has like kind of energy, like she just speaks, and then opposition parties people, they try to mess with her. She's like, death stare, she does that. But if you meet her in person, I've met her in person, multiple times. But she's actually very feminine in person. She's not tall. Like she might be a little bit shorter than me even. Like not big at all. And she's losing weight, by the way, because she works hard. So other party leaders are actually concerned about her health too, already. But because she is so serious, she wants to work and just does everything by her own. So that's her personality. But anyway, feminine, very feminine and cute, like when she was asked about Japan-Korea relation by a Korean news reporter at the press conference. The Korean reporter asked her about Japan-South Korean relation because there are concerns about her because she's a patriot and so on, right? Like who visit Yasukuni Shrine, which is problematic for China and South Korea for some reason. But when she was asked about it, she's like, oh, like, she answered first, like, seriously, but then following that, she's like, oh, there seems to be many concerns, but I love Korean seaweed, which is famous in Japan. And then I use Korean cosmetics, and she touches her cheek. And then she uses Korea. She says she uses Korean cosmetics, and then she said, and she likes Korean TV shows and so on, like TV drama. So she says stuff like that, and it's really like lovely, like very feminine and flexible, and that's something that male prime ministers could ever say, because like men compete all the time, right? But women are, at least I don't know about me, but ordinary, like regular Japanese women are tolerant and they're like a mother-ish, very soft and so on. So I bet that Trump would like her, as long as they can have a productive conversation. Of course, Trump cares about, like tariffs and trades and all the money, like financial side of the U.S. And so it kind of depends on how Takaichi will approach him, to like, you have to, like, I've never met Trump, so I don't know, but for sure. But I have a feeling that in order to talk to Trump, you have to kind of adjust yourself to Trump, like to speak from his place, to let him know that he will get the money he wants or investment that he wants and or deals that he wants and so on. So I hope that she can do it, but I bet that she is working, like she has appointed people from like the same people from Abe administration too. So like the bureaucrats type of people, so I bet that they have a great team, and people were kind of anxious about Takaichi because it was rumored that she's such a lone wolf type and that she doesn't have many connections and that sort of things. And she's just wiping away all the concerns because she's created a good team. Her cabinet and also LDP it's good, so it's all working out. I think at least it's the beginning. She still has to dissolve the parliament and the House of Representatives and so on, and going to election if she wants to be strong and also to be tested by the people. She needs to have a national election. And then Sankei people, like conservative-leaning newspaper Sankei, some of the reporters or OBs, like ex-workers, were saying that Takaichi is actually considering elections, probably judging from the appointments of the cabinet and so on, because she didn't let like Abe faction people in, because Abe faction, according to the leftists and all the people against Abe, like they are saying that those Abe faction people have money scandal, like money issue, which are not resolved, solved yet. And even though we already had elections, but some people haven't had elections though, because there's this, for example, this House of Councillors guy that we are close to, and he had a money issue, and he haven't had an election yet, because we recently had a House of Councillors election, but House of Councillors, it's like 6 years. Term is 6 years, but they have an election only by half each time. So some people went through election, but the other half haven't had an election yet, and so on. So those people even didn't get into the cabinet or any roles below that. So by that, Takaichi might be just trying to avoid any kind of possible attacks by the media, like you don't want to show weakness or weak points. So maybe that's just it, but others are analyzing it as that she is considering elections soon, like this year. Yeah. One good thing about Takaichi, by the way, is that she is working on intelligence too. Like America or the UK or even Israel, like you all have these amazing intelligence agencies. But in Japan, it's we did have that before, but after we lost the World War II, everything was, all the good things about Japan got rid of that, or got weakened, right? But now, the situation has changed, and America wants Japan to be stronger because they're the threat of China, right? So, and we are happy about it, right? But we are realizing like we don't have a good system. Like the structure is not good. Like we have been collecting all the information, but for example, like it's different. It depends on like each like a bureaucracy. Like it's a different department, and it's not integrated. So now Takaichi wants to do it well. We've had below the what's the name? Like a cabinet. Let me see. 内閣 wait. 内閣府 cabinet office. In cabinet office, like under cabinet office, we had the intelligence thing, I think. But now they're gonna change the structure. At least Takaichi wants to, I think. Let's see. I probably took a screenshot somewhere. Let me see. Oh yeah. So Prime Minister, the chief staff, right? And then NSC is there under this. Is it chief cabinet? I always forget the Kambochokan. I forget the translation always, but like yeah, or the like spokesman kind of person is not a spokesperson. He is actually powerful under prime minister, and then under below him there is NSC. So it's they are like a place to work as the head of like diplomacy and national security as for like information. And there's another thing that the cabinet office is collecting all the information. So like it's like all like separated and all different. And together with that, Takaichi administration will work on illegal immigrants, right? And people are saying like overseas foreigners, they are saying like right wing type of people are saying like, oh, mass deportation and so on. We are not talking about it. Takaichi is saying like, of course, there are areas where Japan actually need the help of by foreign workers and so on. She was saying that in the speech, and somehow like fake Japanese accounts are taking it out of context and trying to just put words in her mouth. So it really sucks. But anyway, we do need foreigners in some areas. Like we can't. We wish that we could do something about it, but it's too late at this point. Like economically, even Abe knew that, and so it was why like he was kind of open to the world and so on. But even like immigrants coming into Japan. America, for example, you have Homeland Security, right? In Japan, we don't have that. We have the Bureau for like entry and out. I should tell you that. All the terms, man. Let's see. Shutsunyu Kokukanricho Agency, right? I need the English. We have Immigration Services Agency. Is it the translation? Immigration Service Agency of Japan. Yeah, we have the agency, but they takes care of entry and those who depart, right? And it's not about those immigrants or those who enter Japan, their stay and so on, what they do inside of a country. We're not following that, and that is bad. So Takaichi wants to tackle that too. And by integrate all the information, because our police works on it and our the agency does it, and it's all separated. So yeah, why does Japan have an agency like ICE? Like it's a new thing for Japan. So anyway, it's been an hour. If no more super chat, I need to end because I need to return. This is our living room, and my father took our dog outside so that he doesn't come here and so on too. So like they're probably gonna come back soon. So if not super chat, I need to go soon, very very soon. Let's see. You must check out New York Post right now. Amazing Trump dancing. Really cool. Sent you a photo on the Facebook direct message. I wasn't sure you checked that. Oh, thank you. You Japanese need to work less and focus more time on getting into relationships, getting married, and having children. No, we want to, but we are not rich enough. I keep telling you, it's the economy. We don't have the money for it, right? And we are working hard, and it's like when you can't even, pay for your living, and How are you gonna ask people out? How are you gonna ask a girl out if you are broke? And it's not even your fault. It's the society. So, Alberta, thank you. Extra yoga hour. Thank you so much. Give me super chats or the stream gets it. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Because this is a shared space of my parents. Just don't take immigrants from dangerous places. So many people would love to immigrate to Japan from Western countries. Yeah. I mean, it's like if Japan has a unique culture and background, historical backgrounds, and our working norms are really tough, right? Even I can, I can't work normally, right? It's that hard, but those some foreigners come and try to live in Japan. They don't even speak our language. They have a different religious background, and somehow they think that they can live here just because they think it's a good idea. And it's just ridiculous to me. And I hope that through Takaichi administration we get to fix that, you know. And yeah. But I bet that Onoda, the woman in charge of that, though, she's really blunt. She says things black and white, and even to media questions, she's like, she says like, "Oh, I don't want to answer." Like, very straightforward. She has a good reasons, and she says it together with that. But basically, she says like, "Oh, I'm not gonna answer." So. Even to when Ononda was asked about her favorite anime, she said like, "Oh, because many people dislike me, I will refrain from answering because basically because the image, like those who dislike her don't want to know that, right? Because they don't want to like the same anime as her and so on. And anime people will probably get affected by that and everything. So she chose not to answer. So she's very wise when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, need a better work-life balance. Takaichi, though, when she was elected as the leader of LDP, she made a victory speech and she said that I have threw away work-life balance. That's our prime minister. Japan is, we just love working. So, like it's not like we love, like we just feel bad. We feel bad when we are not working. We feel guilty when we are not working. Like we need to be doing something or else we are bad people. So we have that mentality. So of course we love days off, but that just our personality and mentality is like that. China released Nanjing movie Dead to Rights recently. Oh, is it about Nanjing massacre? I saw the movie about like the 731 troop. I don't know how to read that in English, but about our troop and so on. What's interesting though that is that like they released some anti-Japan movie recently, and then it contained like Japanese. It didn't exist back then, but like Japanese like troop leader and so on, who is attractive or something like that, and I don't know what happened, but like there were many aspects of the movies that Chinese people started to complain about it, and they didn't like it. So that was interesting. What's interesting about all this international affairs is that like we are different different generation now, like my generation is kind of above, but like the generations below me, for example, like in the teenagers, those who are in the 20s or 30s, they don't know the war. For example, for Japan, World War II, and いいよ別に World War II, and they don't have the direct memories and so on. And also, they see what's happening in the world, like in the Middle East or Ukraine. So they have like a common sense. Like they have common sense again. What's interesting is that Takaichi, for example, she is really popular by, I think it's teenagers to 20. Those were 20s, or at least those who are in 20s. Like 80% of them support Takaichi, which is crazy. But that's like time is shifting. My dog is back. I wish you could see him. Oh yeah, but my dog is Shiba and he's old and he's not friendly. He's not friendly at all. He barks at us. He bites us. So, like ourselves, Like of course, like dogs usually reflect the owners. Anyway, oh super chat. Thank you so much. There's a record increase of deadly bear attacks in northern Japan. Yes. Can a regular Japanese citizen apply for gun ownership to defend themselves in such cases? I believe so. Like the special certificate, though, that you need to pass. I don't know the exams and so on. I'm not familiar with that. Because, for example, my island doesn't have bears. And it's all the other islands. But yeah, but it's so like lately they're shooting them to death, so it happens not all the time, but it is happening. So yeah, like we have those hunter group exists, Shuryo. Let me just Google it. Yeah, that you need a license, and let's see. And then we actually changed the some legislation, like a local legislation, so they can now shoot, because like we were saying, like it's dangerous, right? Like if you shoot randomly all of a sudden just because there's a bear, then the bullet could like sometimes it's on point, but other times it might, you might make some mistakes and it will get on people's houses, like walls of the house and so on, or it could harm pedestrians and so on, and who's gonna pay for that kind of thing. But they changed it because it's happening way too frequently. So yeah, you need to get a license. I don't know about how to get a license, but probably if you it's interesting because they're updating like recently, so yeah, it's I think anybody with who has it's over 20 years old, and then for like a shooting and so on. Yeah. Of course, you need to identify yourself too, but yeah, stuff like that. Let's see. As for money for kids, it's the same excuse that we don't have money for kids. Why? But I hear that 35,000 a year means you're top 5% richest person in the world. Oh yeah, compared to the world, we are very, very rich. And then what's cool is that as time goes by, what we have, like all these devices do. Like if you wanted to have this like decades ago, you would have to pay like as much as like you buy a car or something. I wish I could show you my dog. He's so fluffy and black and cool. Bears are shooting hunters to death. No, no, no. People are hunters are hunting. Do you celebrate Halloween? Oh, people do. My my nose. How do you get rid of all this stuffness in nose? Sorry for our dog. He's scared, and whenever there's a noise, he barks. Dogs resemble their owners. Exactly. Yes. If China says don't visit Yasukuni, will Takaichi listen? I don't think so. But Takaichi will probably just calculate, is it a good idea to cause some turmoil? Like a chaos? Because, I mean, the way that she thinks is that Yasukuni is like, our prime minister usually visit the Arlington Cemetery of the US, for example. Why not do it for our own soldiers back in the day, It's not something that other countries should complain, right? Each country should commemorate all the people who have fought for your country. So that's the way of thinking that she has. So I don't think that she would care in that sense, but she must think about political aspects, like the results of what happens for the benefit of Japan. So I don't know, but she will decide, accordingly to what's happening is on. Yoko dog tax. That's a lot of tax. Thank you so much. Thank you. A little tip too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Taro got tax. Yay. Please show the dog. I wish I could catch him. When I try to lift him up, he tries to bite. So, and he usually screams like, Taro, Taro, ここまでおいで。Where is he? You can see him. You saw him briefly. Oh, wait. Did I press something? Like it says like I did something just because I pressed something now. When I lift this up, I don't know. Did you see? Okay, cool. This is still going, right? Okay. Because like my thumb was tapping on like in the stream. Oh, thank you for another super chat. Hassan Piker trained his dog to stay in the background of his streams. That's awful. That is so awful. I mean, that's wise, but because it's Hassan Piker, he's a communist, right? Because of that. But yeah, our dog is actually like so-called mame Shiba. So mame is like very tiny beans. Mame meaning beans. Beans. Maybe I believe that's the meaning. I'm not sure, but like a small Shiba, get married, make babies, and then again like you repeat that. So let's see. Shock colors. The colors that shock. Yeah, that's awful. Hassan Piker use it? Mame Shiba, yeah. And my dog is Taro. First Yoko dog tax, yes. Yep. Let's see. Anything else to talk about? What? Since I got the extension by burn up and so on, did I talk about? Lastly, let's talk about this shipbuilding ability of Japan and the U.S. And you see here, that's like there are points of this topic. So basically, oh, they already have like a note or memorandum to cooperate on shipbuilding industry, like Japan, America, government. Yeah, they're gonna have like a working group together, establish that super chat way, and then they will build, and also like a sea industry they will develop together. And then both Japan and American companies will cooperate and invest in shipbuilding places, and then try to make competitions and efficiency higher. And in order to the what's that word? I forgot. Like we have the same kind of parts so that it fits each other's ships and so on, right? Like it works better if we have the same kind of parts or the sizes and requirements and so on. So they're gonna have a mutual agreement, and then they will also raise or gain the human resources to shipbuilding, and then also they will develop and install AI technology and other advanced technology for shipbuilding and advancing the functions, mechanics, and so on. Cool. Yeah, universal, I think. But the word I'm looking for is it's really key thing in even like natural disaster too. Cool. Let's see. Compatibility, yes, now I remember. Compatibility, yeah, it's important because even like when natural disasters happen too, back in the day, like in 1995, we had a huge earthquake in Hanshin area, and back then, like different prefectures, what's the people that come to, not ambulance, but firefighters, they came from different prefectures, and it didn't fit, so they couldn't work to assist the fire. So yeah, it's really a key thing in to protect human lives and also the cooperation across borders. Yeah, Yoko, I hope Japanese don't have their dogs on show collars. I don't think we do. I, it's not in my like regular thinking patterns. Like I don't think of those because I don't know them. Roberta, thank you for your super chat. Don't retire your Kamala impression yet. She wants to run again in 2020, 2028. Wow, she will not burden herself with losing, because losing means you lost. And if you, my voice is so nasal today, I can do this. She will not burden herself with losing, because losing means you lost, and if you lost, you don't win. So winning is not losing. That's me doing Kamala. My mom is like, what are you doing? My mom is sitting on the table. I mean, at the table. I'm always a goofy daughter, so she doesn't care, but hello, thank you for coming. Man, I need to quit, but Bird Up is helping this channel. So one day in the future, the Yamato will be retrofitted to go out in space as depicted in our Star Blazers, aka Starship Yamato. Yeah, we love that Yamato. My husband loves Yamato, like anime. 宇宙戦艦ヤマトチュチュチュチュチュチュチュチュ Konnichiwa, Yoko's mom and family. Mama must have guessed who you are impersonating. I don't know. But yeah, it's such a cringe like to see Kamala Harris even on Japanese TV show like news programs, you know, because it's you don't have to understand the language to see who is weird, right? Because it's unnatural to burst into laughter when you are talking seriously and others are not laughing. It's so weird. Yeah. Do you like poor old Biden? No. I mean, as a person, I don't have anything against him, you know, like he's old and he was like even though he was having health issues, like obviously it was apparent, but he kept working and if I were him, I would stop working because I would be in pain and also I would be mortified, you know, to show my weak self, you know, even if I was ambitious, I don't think that I want to show to the world like how bad I perform, you know, because I'm such a perfectionist. But yeah, but other than that, like I still think that Biden saying it out loud that America doesn't, America will not go into the World War III and so on, like to show what he has in his mind or all the things that should have been kept for as secrets, you know, to be strong in the political game. He just he was just saying everything out loud, and that was so bad. Trump is good at all the power game, you know, so that's good for America. My nose is like stuffed. He couldn't even walk upstairs. Yeah. It's so interesting, though. By the way, speaking of stairs, I just remember the footage of Takaichi, our prime minister, coming, like going down the stairs to arrive at the airport in Malaysia, and of course, like she's walking alone, but she's actually married, you know. So like to see our prime minister alone was kind of refreshing because it hasn't been the case for a while now. Even though Japan doesn't have the first lady kind of culture, we have been kind of adjusting ourselves to, you know, meet the Western culture because it's better for other countries, I guess. So yeah, but she came down by herself in high heels, and it was interesting to see. And she does have like she's married. She has a husband, but he had a stroke. Is it a stroke or like his brain though? Um, huh? Oh, so good. What? How do you read that? Eh, Let me see.
Cerebral infarction.
Cerebral infarction. Just stroke. Yeah. So he had that, and that's why Takaichi, like our prime minister, was taking care of her husband, you know, and it was such a burden for her. But I don't know why, like the system of her family now. But yeah, that's why he can't tag along, you know, even though he's the first gentleman, you know, in our country. So yeah, but he says like he has answered the press like interview, and he was saying like, "Oh, I'll go on like a stealth, like I will be quiet so that she can work, and so on." If you press your fingers just below the bone of your nose, my nose, like where, it can cause nasal passages to drain. I wonder where. Here. If you do a silly pose like this, it actually relaxes your muscles and you start yarning. And I use that. Like in Japan, there's this old comedian. Is he still alive? I don't even know. Let's see. Kato-chan. I heard the pose that he does. This. If you do this, it's actually good for your nose. Like I've heard of it before. He's a famous comedian here. Very old now though. Anyway, midway up, like around here. I should do that. Macron's wife, husband, wife stops him around in public. Oh yeah, I saw the way older woman, right? I remember that. It was so. I feel bad for her. I mean, bad for him. Trump went alone this time too. Oh, so Takaichi will not meet Melania yet. He couldn't walk across the platform. Anyway, should I go? His middle school teacher, very upsetting. It's so weird when people get married, with school teachers or students. Yeah. Anyway, I think I should go. ねえ、太郎さん. I should, yeah. To be honest, I don't get why we care what the family of the leaders do, because we choose the leader, not his family. Yeah, I know, right? Isn't it interesting? Yeah. And they lose the privacy and everything. I feel bad. It was kind of depicted well in the show Designated Survivor, but the 24 guy acted the role of the president, but I didn't finish that show. Like always, I want to watch the Designated Survivor, and then I start watching, and then I stop in in season 2, like early in season 2 or something, because it gets boring, and then I never finish that show. Oh, thank you for a super chat. No, Taro-chan, you're asking your dog. Yes. We talk to our dog. Like, you talk to your dogs, right? Yeah. Yes. Anyway, I hope that I got you all the input that I'm supposed to give you, the basic knowledge about Takaichi, of like what we've been talking about here in Japan and so on. Yeah. Please do not get carried away. Sorry. By Japanese, like a fake Japanese account, because their fake Japanese accounts, probably, my guess, this is only my guess, but my guess is that there are some people that just want to make money out of pretending to be Japanese, because there are lots of Japanese fans. Whether they get, what's the word? Get fans, or even if people do not. even if they checking my smell. Anyway, yeah, even if they don't get liked by the others, they still get all the views, and depending on the views, they get money. So maybe that's what they're doing, and others are just wanting to, you know, like there are snobs type of people too that pretend to know about Japan even though they don't, and they just don't intend it, but they just want to stand out, so they do that. There are probably others like a operation type of like a what's a like a spy espionage type of accounts that just create confusion, because that benefits them well, the country, when Japan or the cyberspace about talking about Japan. If the debate is chaotic, then we don't get to decide anything, or it just gets in the way. So some people enjoy that. So yeah. So please do not get, carried away by that. Okay. Yoko is like arcade machine. Please insert coin for more. That's a good example, like a metaphor. I'm gonna ponder on that because it's a good idea. Anyway, Taro might know. Never mind. He might have a good take on your stream. True. Oh, thank you for super chat, Kenji-san. Other than your account and your husband's account, what are the best accounts to follow on X for accurate information about Japanese news? I recommend Japan Forward. Japan Forward. They are on X, but it's a news website. I'm one of the contributors. When there's this new reporter, though, when he writes, it's kind of off, in my opinion. But they are conservative leaning, like English, basically English version of Japanese Sankei Shimbun, Japan Forward. Definitely follow them. And if you understand Japanese, then what's that? Toranomon, maybe. Is it Toranomon? Like they had some power struggle, and then some. Let's see. Was it? Sometimes, like, what happens in Japan is that, for example, this magazine called Will. There was this magazine called Will, and then they had power struggles inside, or some fight. I don't know, and then they separated. So Will is still Will, and there's another. The head of the Will is now making magazines called Hanada. Hanada is good too, but they kind of care about the business aspects of, this movement. So they jump on what sells better. So sometimes, like you have to judge well, but Hanada is good too. Wait, was it Toranomon or? Wait, did I? Oh, definitely follow Gendon Terebi. But it's all in Japanese though. Do you want like English news or? Japan Forward followed. Yay! Thank you. It's good, and I'll show you Gendon Terebi. Like Yoshiko Sakurai too. Like, so Yoshiko Sakurai is our she's like basically Phyllis Schlafly of America, right? She was born. She was born when the World War II ended, so she's old, like around 80, but she's still very, very powerful and young. Like her brain is so young. And then she owns this news, like a YouTube channel, Genon Terebi. You have to mirror it though to see that. Sorry for that. Um, but always I really love their show. Like if you see live, like these three often get on the show, and their commentaries are great. So if you understand Japanese, these are like standard, like conservative people. So which is kind of rare now in Japan. So what's the and Toranomon News too. They got separated. Oh, Toranomon is what's that? News journal, Nippon Journal. Yeah, Nippon Journal. They're the YouTube though. So Toranomon, there was this news YouTube channel, like it's, I don't know if it's a news, but they just commentary type of channel, and Nippon Journal, right? And they got separated into Toranomon and then Nippon Journal. And my people often, like my type of people often get on this, and the other is the original Toranomon, right? These are our YouTube, but usually like our people are watching this, or sorry, it's all in Japanese, and I'm probably boring you guys, but also as for the cultural aspect of Japan, definitely Tsuneyasu Takeda, the offspring, like a grand son of Meiji Emperor. He is really good when it comes to history. And as for today's like modern politics, sometimes he's very opinionated, and also he's not really conservative when it comes to like the environment issues and so on. As for by the Japanese standard, like he's against nuclear power plants and so on, because he studied the environmental things and stuff like that. And I personally recently like the like old type of like a standard type of conservative people, not the recent one, but Mr. Ogawa is good. He's close to LDP, and yeah, you can translate his posts, right? So he speaks common sense when it comes to LDP related stuff. I don't know about others, but the conservatives, he's really familiar with what's happening in the conservative circle. So he's a drinker, so he's fun. And another is younger guy. I'm just telling you my favorite. Iwata-san. He's younger, like my generation, but he's very smart, very sophisticated, and humorous, and so on. Yep. So if you, yeah, if you check these people, that'd be great, I think. Okay. I hope that answered. In English, Yomiuri should have English version though, right? Let me just quickly check. Yomiuri. Yomiuri is the standard. Basically, no, sometimes they are liberal, but Yomiuri English. No, they have that. They're okay. I guess this is Yomiuri's English version. I don't know. But Japan News, it does say Japan News Yomiuri.co.jp, so it should be their English version. So it might be good to just to get the general idea. They're not conservative though, but yeah. Okay. Sorry for my nose and the coughs. Yeah. Oh, wait, do they have YouTube? Oh, they do have YouTube. What? Let me check. 6 days ago, they're not very active. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. Okay. Yep, yep, yep. YouTube a fight between abroad in Japan versus oriental Pearl about Japan having bad graffiti. Really? It's getting a bunch of videos made even by Asmon Gold. No, I haven't checked that. That's interesting. Japanese graffiti, by the way, it's been there all the time. It's kind of less now because I guess that like we kind of grew out of it, you know. I growing up, I saw graffiti all the time, like around like the spray and so on. It was a thing. Like when you walk through like a tunnel-ish place, because in Japan, like of course, often like the roads are above you and so on. You have to go through like underneath and so on, and you see the tunnel, and then you see all the random alphabets and so on. So, hello. 何してるの？あな？ただ。ん？ He's so fluffy. Yeah, it's He's stepping on my newspaper. Yeah, so graffiti is a thing, and it's like when you talk about Japan, it's such a big category. Like, are you talking about today or decades ago included, like entire Japan, or even longer history, or the people, or among people there are good people, there are bad people, high class people, and we don't really have a class, but now our economic backgrounds, there are a big gap. So basically that's happening. And like we have education or like a good education, and people are more educated compared to other countries, some countries, but still, we do have like a low kind of people, and they often do things, bad things. So that happens. Maybe that, my dog is staring at me, maybe because I'm speaking English. Like, what is this person? She doesn't sound the same, but sniff, sniff, smell the same. What is happening? What are you doing? Okay. My site right now, just took a picture of my dog. This is what I'm seeing right now in front of me. He's sitting in front of me. How old is your doggy? He's like 14. Very old. 13 or 14. Got him in 2013. Wait, 13? But he was born in 2012. So, yeah, 13 or 14. You're supporting Chris from abroad in Japan since that's his main point. Oh, I see. Like when you talk about all the graffiti and that sort of things, you need to make sure what you're actually referring to, because it kind of get lost in the debate, Yeah, like people are talking about the same category but different things. So you need to be careful. Yeah. Japan is, we try to be good, but like Yeah, it's like in order to, for example, after the World War II, our people worked so hard, so it was not very clean, at the time, and people smoked a lot, like smoked cigarettes. It was on the ground. They still do that in my neighborhood too. Sometimes, like old people, sometimes just and then throw it away and so on. Like they don't have manners, and it's about the ratio that it's those people are despised in our society, but that doesn't mean that those people do not exist. So all the extreme imagery is usually wrong. So we're just another country, and we try to be good. Our morality, like moral compass, is the word. Like we try to be ethical, and we try to be good. That's the important part. And also, there are people who make our countries better, our cultures better. So that's what we try to focus. But to make it out of like to say that we are perfect is kind of wrong. I love my country so much so that like I just accept everything. Oh, there are many aspects, but you still love the country, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I ended up I ended up talking. I should go, guys. Oh, greeting from the USA. You just joined. Oh no, you were the first person I thought of when I heard Donald Trump was gonna meet your new president, your prime minister. You mean? Yeah, you must be excited. I am. I am. Thank you for your opportunity for us, our prime minister, to meet your president. It's great. I hope that you know golden age is coming, between Japan and America too, because Takaichi is such a tolerant, like she's professional and passionate and everything, and sometimes blunt and kind of hard, but she's a feminine, good, motherly person who takes care of others. Growing up too, she had to, she was a so-called like young carer, such a difficult word, young carer, right? Like I don't know if it's a Japanese English, but yeah. Anyway, she had to take care of her brother, I think, and then even her classmates. For example, when she classmate forgot her lunchbox, Takaichi shared her lunchbox with her so that her friend could take the exam with the clear head and so on, and pass the exams together and so on. And when she got married with the current husband, um, her husband, I think, was a second time to marry, and he had three children, and Takaichi raised them, and it's not easy, right? But she did it, and then they got divorced once, and then they got married again, and then now he had a stroke, and then she had to take care of him, and she's such a mother, too. So it's amazing. Anyway, I can keep rambling, but I should go. Okay, it's like almost 2 hours. Gotta go. Fluent English, fluent, but with Japanese accent. But she's used to diplomacy. She's done other ministers before as well, where of course in any department you usually or ministry you usually talk to people, politicians from other ministers, right? Like ministers from other countries. So she's had like international like diplomatic events before, so I'm pretty sure she will do well. Okay, I want to answer everything, but I should probably go. Thank you again for watching till the end. Your engagement helps my channel, together with all the super chat you gave me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't live. My dog is laying down, by the way. I need to play with him for him. Okay, thank you, and have a good night. Have a good day. This week will be wonderful. A tremendous, wonderful, big, big, big victory. That's me doing Trump. Yeah. Okay. him a burger. Good idea. Maybe at their base though. Okay. Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.